Hey, what is up, all you NXT Nation fans? It's your boy Just Jay, bringing you a brand new video. We're going to be doing a Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls character breakdown. So, as you can see, this is my character right now, my wizard. I am currently level 70, Paragon 90, and I know a lot of people like to see these types of videos just to see how to set characters up and things like that. It's going to be a little bit of an extended version or an extended video just because of the type of details that I have to go through. And I mentioned it in a previous video of mine, the Rift video, the Greater Rift video, that I was going to be doing one. So I want to go ahead and get right into it because it is going to take a little bit of time to go over some of the stats. So basically what I did was, and I can do that right now, is I went through and I just stripped my character down completely to nothing, which is pretty easy to do. It's going to take away a lot of what your main stats, you're going to just be like, whoa, wait a minute, what happened to my character? Yeah, so don't freak out about it, as I did at first. You know, your character looks really weird without anything on it. Okay, so my character is completely naked right now, and this is my general stats with my Paragon upgrades, which we can go into that a little bit later. But yeah, this is my main stats. That is 6,378 healing, 22.9 thousand shield or armor, and 10 attack, which is very low attack. That's with no weapon or anything. It's just based off of my stats and my Paragon leveling. So what I did was I stripped everything down and I went over to my skills. Now, what I wanted to build was a really good wizard based off of all the same powers. So, as most of you know that have played Diablo 3 with me or know anything about my Diablo experience, I've always been focused on electricity. That was always my big thing, or I say lightning, electricity, all the same. That was my biggest focus. So I went through and I evaluated every individual stat and ability and skill that could possibly have lightning damage or abilities on it, and those are the ones that I chose. So I'll go over those right quick. For my first passive, I went with the decreased damage taken by 17%, just because I wanted to stay alive. You know, that's one very important thing, is to make sure that you don't take a lot of damage. And for me, that was the easiest way to do it, was add it as a passive. My second one was, when you receive fatal damage, you heal to 45% of your maximum life and release a shockwave that knocks enemies back. Slows them down for 60% for 3 seconds. That's called Unstable Anomaly, and that's the second passive that I used. And sorry for most Diablo people, they know what this is, but it's called Blur. It was my first passive. My third passive, I went with the Audacity. You deal 15% additional damage to enemies within 15 yards. And for my fourth passive, I went with Cold-Blooded. Shield enemies. Oh, wait. Shield enemies are frozen by you take 10% more damage from all sources for the duration of the chill or freeze. And of course, with most players, a wizard is a ranged character. As you can see, my powers are ranged abilities. That's the way they are, except for this one, which is, I'll go into that, and I really like that quite a bit. So that's what my skills were set on for my passives, okay? The next skill that I went to, or first thing you need to make sure that you have checked, is under your options, you need to go to gameplay and make sure you have elective mode selected. I found that this wizard is very powerful, and these combinations of abilities work very well together. So that being said, back into it. For my A button, I use Arcane Torrent. Now, what's very important is that to make sure that you have the complementing, these are ruins, that's what they're called. You gotta have complementing ruins for your equipment. So for Arcane Torrent, there's a bunch of different ones that you can choose. I chose Static Discharge, so that, like I said, electricity or lightning, the one that I went with, that's what I wanted to focus on. So I went with electricity on everything. Next thing was Spectral Blade. That is my right trigger. I'm sorry, I got confused. My right trigger is Spectral Blade. Now I really like this because it actually is a close range attack, and that's what I was just showing you. This is for close range combat, more or less. I really enjoy this because I don't like to sit back and kill people. I want to be up close and personal. So that's why I went with the Spectral Blade. I wanted to be up close and in their face fighting, so I went with that. And the rune that I used is Thrown Blade. This is extend the reach and increase the damage. Now also at the bottom it says Spectral Blade's damage turns into lightning, which was another feature that I really needed to make possible to go with my electrical or electricity based character. That's what I wanted to make sure everything was electricity. So now this was one thing that you could do. It's defensive tactic. It's my X button. You can change this to anything that you want. Really, it could be anything. But for me, I went with the Frost Nova. The reason I went with this is because I want to be able to control my enemies. Crowd control, I guess you could say. I'm a mixture of all of the above. Crowd control and straight up fighting or ranged fighting. Either way that I choose, I can fight that way. And I went with the Frost Nova. Like I said, I went with Frost Nova because that's what I like as far as being able to control the enemies. And then you can choose whatever rune it is that you like best. They're all the same, or not all the same. I do apologize. They're not the same. They all have different abilities. So Frozen Enemy can release new stuff, new Frost Novas, different things like that. I went with the one that enemies take more damage while they're frozen, or Frost Nova. Because if you remember, in my passives, I went with frozen or chilled enemies take more damage by extra 10%. So that's why I went ahead and chose the frozen as my, or Frost Nova as my defensive mechanism or defensive skill. My next button is going to be the Y. This is what is new in Reaper of Souls. This was a new skill that was added, and I really actually enjoyed it. I didn't think I was going to like it that much at first until I leveled it up and got all the runes and actually started using it a little bit. But it's called Black Hole is the name of the skill or the ability, and it conjures a black hole that draws enemies into it and it deals damage. This is really helpful during crowd control as well because it sucks the enemies into a designated spot and gets them away from you, really, if it's from a distance from you. So I went with that. And then they had the ability or the rune for lightning damage. So of course I went with that rune on my black hole ability. Now the other ones are really more or less I guess you could say defensive tactics because I already had my main attacks. My A button and my right trigger, which are Spectral Blade and my Arcane Torrent, are my two main attacks. Those are really all that I use as far as attacks go, aside from the black hole, which is really doesn't do a whole lot of. Well, I take that back. It does a lot of damage without me having to do anything. So that's why I went with that one. But my two main attacks are Arcane Torrent and Spectral Blade. So the other ones that I use are my armor. Of course, like I said, I'm using electricity, so I wanted to go with the Storm Armor, and that's just to keep people that are a long ways away from me to electrocute them and keep them. You know, it's on a lower difficulty level, it will kill them a lot faster, but on a higher difficulty level, it really kind of weakens them just enough to get them where you are. Once they get to where you are or near you, then it gives you the option of fast attacks, which will kill them a lot quicker, but it takes big chunks and it does really massive critical hits. So that's why I went with the electric armor. And I use the rune that while my storm armor is active, I get reduce the arcane power. Reduce the arcane power cost of all skills. This comes in very, very, very handy because Arcane Torrent, as you know, takes a lot of energy or arcane power. So this just holding this button down, you can see that I am using a lot of arcane power. So I need that ability whenever my armor's up. If my armor goes away, you can see how much arcane power that arcane torrent will take. Secondly, or not secondly, my next defensive move was the mirror image. Absolutely love this because it distracts people. It keeps them away from you, and it gives you the ability to escape easily. So if you're locked into a, let's just say this is a portal and they lock you in it, you can hit the right bumper and it'll get you out of that. It will spawn your characters in, your mirror images, and it will knock you out of the portal. So that's why I really like that a lot. That's a great escape tactic. And I went with the ruined. That spells cast by your mirror images deal more damage. That's the ruin that I went with, and unfortunately I just used it, so I can't change it right now. But I went with that particular ruin. That way my mirror images can actually do damage instead of just being a distraction. I would prefer them to be able to kill stuff than just stand there and do nothing. So those are my skills. Now, as you can see right now, my attack and stuff is still down low. Very low. My attack is at 10. My armor is at 22.9. And these are just some of the weapons that I chose. These are the ones I found over my time of playing. I'm not going to go over all the individual stats. I can do that in another video, just so that the video doesn't take as long to upload and it doesn't take as long to watch. But so we'll go through each one. I have the Wildwood. One thing I would like to say about this particular weapon is that I actually modified it. It was really based on, you can see where the reroll on it is arcane damage. It's 1127 to 1336 arcane damage. I actually rerolled that so that it was poison damage, and I rerolled that to fit my character. So that's one thing I wanted to mention about that weapon. Also, I transmogrified it to make it look like a dull black sword just for looks. We can go over that later. Alright, my gloves are Pinder's Purchase. Not going to go into much details about those. I did re-roll them, however, for 707 intelligence. Like I said, you want to focus around your character's abilities. So those are why I re-rolled some things. Now this one is Death Watch Mantles. I absolutely love these because they explode in knives whenever people get near you or try to attack you, and it does damage. So I absolutely love those Death Watch Mantle shoulder pieces. Really nice to have. Okay, moving on. The next is the chest piece. I have Resplendent Guise. This is actually something that I picked up off the ground. It just had really great capabilities or abilities for my character, and that's why I went with it. Not going to go into it much, but that is what I chose. Resplendent Guise. That actually can be changed very easily because, as you can see, it's a yellow item. It's a rare item. It's not a legendary. It's not legendary and it's not green. These are key pieces or set pieces. So it can be changed in and out very easily if I find something better. For my helmet, same thing. I found a yellow helmet on the ground, or rare helmet, and it just so happened to help me. I re-rolled it to have an additional socket on it so that I could find more magic stuff. My necklace, I have the Talrasha's Allegiance on. It's a set piece. I don't know why I chose this particular one because I don't actually have the rest of the set, but it actually helped me a lot with the critical hit damage and the critical hit chance, so I went with that. Unfortunately, I don't have the rest of the set, so it doesn't really help me as far as the set piece goes. My bracers or our protection serpent, like I said, they're rare items I found on the ground that just so happen to help me quite a bit. So those are interchangeable. I didn't re-roll them, which I could have done and possibly got better stats, but I didn't. Here is the source for my wizard. It's Triumvirate. I don't think I'm saying this right. This is a legendary source piece, and I really love that it had all these different abilities on it. The fire damage, lightning, arcane, had all the extra additional stuff. It really helps. But however, I did re-roll it for a socket. I took one of the pieces off and re-rolled it for a socket, so that I could put more life in it or more intelligence in it, just to up my attack level. My rings are Band of Untold Secrets and Ring of Royal Grandeur. Both are legendary. I've collected these. Whoop, I've collected these throughout the travels in the Diablo world and exploring and stuff. I've collected these two rings, called Band of Untold Secrets and Ring of Royal Grandeur. They just so happen to help me the best, so that's why I had them on. As far as boots, go to boots. We're gonna go over the Firewalkers. Oops, Firewalkers. I really like the Firewalkers just because they usually have really good stats on them, and it doesn't appear to hurt you as much when you go into fire. So that's why I like the Firewalkers. But these are actually burn the ground when you walk on, dealing 100% weapon damage each second. That was an additional factor that I really loved. Then I re-rolled them as well to give me increased life, so it really helped out a lot. 4,248 life per second, which really helps my character a lot. Moving on to the pants. Blackthorn Jousting Mail. These are just set piece pants. I don't actually have the rest of the set, but they have what I need. 668 intelligence. For a wizard, that's all you need to focus on is intelligence. Plus it has magic item find, which really helps me out finding legendaries and things like that. Alright, and last but not least is my belt, and that is Thunder Guard's Vigor. This is a legendary item. Its special ability is blocking, dodging, or being hit causes you to discharge bolts of electricity that deal 119% weapon damage as lightning. So, as you can see, that benefits my character quite a bit. It really helps my wizard out because I'm focused on lightning damage. So, throw that on, and that's where my current stats are right now. This is without being repaired. Go ahead, repair everything. Alright, my stats are at 386k attack, 8.4 million armor, and 42.1 healing. It's not the greatest in the whole wide world. It could be much better. I'm getting there. But currently I'm only playing on Torment 2. So you can see that this character is actually suffice enough. We'll go ahead and go into a rift. I'm not gonna continue it out, but I'm gonna go ahead and play it just so that you can see the attacking together, how it all plays out. Let me make sure I put that armor on, because I need to have that. Where is enemies? Okay, yeah, we're gonna start out right here with these big yellow enemies. As you can see, this character really just kind of melts. Arcane Torrent and lightning everywhere just kind of melts these people. Oh, I had to use a potion. Now, the yellow guys, or the elite, are a little bit more difficult to kill because I don't have that high of attack. But as far as the other characters, or the other enemies, it really melts. And this Arcane Torrent helps rebuild my arcane power up. So, really kind of goes nicely together. That's basically the breakdown of my wizard. As I said, I wanted to thoroughly explain it. I do apologize for the length of the video. But hopefully this is very helpful to you. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button. Smash it up. Let me get a lot of likes, please. It really does help quite a bit. And also, if you like my videos or are interested in seeing something that you would particularly are interested in seeing as something that I play, just message me or leave a comment below, and I will be glad to upload videos that you want to see. So don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and share this video with your friends. Thank you very much for